recording. Oh yeah, baby. So it doesn't matter, even if you don't want to watch the live, it doesn't bother, because I'm going to upload the video anyway, okay? I will answer some questions at the end, and hopefully, even if I know a few truthers, get you in on the old spiel, do you know what I mean? How I'm going to set this camera up here, I don't know. I might just put it up on here. Hopefully it's good enough for you guys to watch. If not, I don't know what I'm going to do. But if not, it don't matter, like I said, the video. Right, let's have a look. Because I'm not a professional at this. This is the thing you got to remember. I don't even know, but let's just try this. Wait a minute. If I should get this picture up here. Maybe I don't know if I could stream that through the telly, but let me have a look. I need to get that so you get, at least you can get an idea of what I'm showing you, really. And if I keep increasing it, yeah, okay. Right, so we'll do it that way anyway. Right. For those who are watching the video, I'm just getting set up for a WAS. Well, what is it? Ticktocky. I've got some stuff here what I'm going to show you as well, like the London Grand Rank Association. You know what I mean? That's their secret bits and pieces. But we'll get into that in a minute. Let me just set this camera up for those that are watching from the other positions. Right, if I put it there like that, hopefully that, I think that's okay, isn't it? Let me have a look. Yeah, I think that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Right, and I'm going to do, obviously, you know, I'm going to do like, well, I'll just go through it as I am anyway, yeah? So it don't really matter. Right, one of these. But you know me, I love to talk. Once I get going, that's it. I'm like a canary. I never shut up, you know what I mean? Right. Right, no. Bloody starving, mate, starving. Right. First of all, let's do these 3 PDFs, okay? And I'll read a little bit to you. Right there. Aha! Remember, Freemasonry equals Satanism, okay? I'll upload these and you can print these off if you want. You know what I mean? They're like sticky labels, alright? And then we've got Save the Planet, Delete the Freemason Criminals. Do you know what I mean? These are stickies. You can make your labels up, post them up, stick them all over your town and your cities and have a great day. Do you know what I mean? Right. We'll get into the old serious stuff in a minute, like where's all the bodies, yeah? Now look, this is hand signals in paintings, yeah? Watch it, I've shown you some in my videos and when I've been out and about around the street. Look, the Masonic M, yeah? You'll see Hollywood stars do it all the time, yeah? Look at the M. M. They're all at it, you know what I mean? Because everyone who painted these are Freemasons, yeah? You show me a profane person, yeah? That is been painted and honoured anywhere, you win. No profane person has had their portrait done. They're all Freemasons or Eastern Stars, yeah? There's no history for profane people, and I'm going to show you why in a minute when I get to it, alright? The only people deemed worthy to have their portraits done, yeah, are Freemasons, yeah? The hatred to profane us are nothing, alright? Now this is the 3 steps in Masonry: on the level, on the square, on the level, and the 12.5-inch rule, okay? That's the first 3 steps in Masonry, okay? And then from there it goes 3, then 5, yeah? The 5 steps, or the hidden chambers, okay, is hearing, seeing, feeling, smelling, tasting, okay? and then you've got the 7, 3, 5, and then you've got the 7 chap, which go with all like grammar, historic, and all that sort of stuff, yeah. But the point of the matter is, this is the 3, 5, 7 steps, yeah. And what they do, they learn like occult stuff, you know. It's all to do with, you know, spells, witchcraft, all of that sort of stuff. I'm going to show you that too in the video, or the demo I'm giving now, yeah. Please note the 2 columns, Jachin and Boaz here. I'm going to refer to them a bit later. The sun and the moonlet, or that's the earth, that's the black sun. Notice the black sun and the earth, look. Okay. But anyway, we ain't going into flat earth and all that malarkey. That's just all the distractional stuff, yeah. It don't matter. Remember, this is for the low grade Freemasons, yeah. Again, look at the symbolism up in this top right corner, look. See the square and compass, how it's hidden, look, by the pearls? But that's just square and compass. Again, it's just 3 diamonds, that is. But that's 6, 6, 6. If you know my videos, you know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? And that's all it is hidden symbolism. Same as on the wallpaper here, yeah? Obviously, you've got the mosaic, the black, white tile floor. But again, look, this is just 2, 3, 2. That's all that wallpaper is. 2, 3, 2. Either the long way, like this, look. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So it's 2, 3, 2. Or the long ways is 2, 3, 2. Yeah. So it's all, you know, that's what Freemasonry basically is. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, moving on from this, that was the 3, 5, 7 steps in Masonry that I always go on about. Yeah. This is a Masonic chair. And as you can see, it's human skin. See the faces and that? Again, this is going to come later on. Importance that you've got to understand what they do to bodies, yeah? Okay? You know, that'll come later in the hazing stuff, yeah? But anyway, let's get a bit more. That's a Masonic chair, yeah? And as you can see, it's human skin with human faces and body parts, okay? Right? Because you've got to get what these people are all about, you know what I mean? Look. The police and the crime of the craft, yeah? Because these are people, they may be wearing white gloves, but they've got a lot of blood on them. Trust me, they've got a lot of blood. You know what I mean? Whether it's through crime or sacrifices, you know, satanic ritual abuse, blah, blah, blah. But they ain't going to tell you that, do you know what I mean? They'll deny it to the hilt. Again, I'm going to show you that in a bit as well. But this is a Masonic army, look, on the march. Again, a Masonic army on the march. Bit of sound effects there, you know what I mean, my profane friends. But they've got plenty of blood on them white gloves, believe it. You know what I mean? No matter how much they wash them. Right. Although it is dedicated to the usurpation and maintenance of absolute power through an oriental despotism, Freemasonry has attained much of its worldwide influence through its emphasis on and sponsorship of the power of revolutions against the established order. Their slogan became the motto of the French Revolution: Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité. Liberty, equality, and it's equality for Masons only. Right? Equality for Masons only. And that's equality for Freemasons only within every town and city. Remember, your towns and cities answer up to all these elite people, what are lords, dukes and earls, yeah? And it's all to do with families, yeah? Now, I'm going to show you that later. I'll show you, you know, how it still goes on today. It's been going on decades and centuries. It's just like the Game of Thrones, right? Only with slavery as the fate of everyone else, yeah? And we are, the profane, are the slaves, yeah? You ain't going to own a business. You ain't going to earn anything substantial, so you're standing up there with the lords, dukes and the earls. That ain't happening. They'll kill you off and murder you before that happens, because they're the ones with the history. You've got nothing. No, there's no profane history. The only history profane people have is dying in their wars. That is it. Okay. Oh, and remind me, I've got. Yeah, I'll get into that in a bit. Anyway, right. Anyway, for everyone, the fate of slavery is as the fate of everyone else, and fraternity, that is the brotherhood of the Masonic order of the Canaanites. This slogan appears throughout the documents of Freemasonry, which also advertises itself as a new age, movement. Many of its publications, such as the magazine of the Washington Freemasons in our national's capital, features the name The New Age and the symbolic triangle on the cover of its magazine. The triangle being emblazoned in its borders with the motto Liberty, Equality and Fraternity. The New Age or New Order refers to the era which will inaugurate after the final Armageddon, when the Canaanites exterminate the last survivors of the people of Shem. Okay, this is their books. Now this is us. Okay, we are the Eloi. Yeah, these are the Freemasons that live underground, and they're always going shh, shh. Again, these eat human flesh. Yeah, and eat off the cattle at the top. Again, I'm going to get a bit more into that. Okay, so stick around. I'm going to show you where we are the Eloi, the cattle, and these Freemasons that keep shh underground, yeah, as the, I can't remember what they're called, and I ain't going to pick up my camera and find out what the bloody, oh actually what I could do, wait there, let me log in on my other camera, right, because I'm good like that, wait there, and then I can watch, if anyone has a message, I can actually read it, do you know what I mean, and then, yeah, so I'll be able to read anything you say on the, what is it, Ticktocky live or whatever it is, yeah? Right, how do I get myself them on here? Wait a minute, I've got to look myself up somehow. Can you believe it? Oh, just shut my dells down. Wait a minute. And I'll say hello to everyone. Yeah, I'm on it now, look. Right, let me just shut that. So I'll now say, how do I, no. Right, so I'm now on the live. I'll say hello, so you know it's me. Okay, I know someone who worked in Sainsbury's was a Mason. Yeah, I bet it. Hello, right, hello. So that's me there now saying hello. Cheeky Chat 5, yeah, that's me. So I'll be able to see anyone who's online. Obviously, I'll be able to just get some of your questions, and I'll do some as I'm going along. Okay. But anyway, we're the Eloi getting eaten. Now remember, these people within your town city, all they do is watch you. Yeah. Anyone steps out of line of the herd of the sheep gets one, either try to persuade to go back following the herd by manipulation, yeah, or peer pressure, or number two, meets an accident or is killed outright. Do you know what I mean? And that's as simple as that. This is what these people do. No one gains power in any town or city without them saying so. And if you've got any sort of stature that you are going to gain power, or any wealth or anything else, these people are on you. Do you know what I mean? And that's a danger. You know what I mean? Well, that ain't too bad. I think, let me just move that to the left a bit, yeah? Like that. Yeah, that ain't bad. Yeah. That's it. Wait a minute, I'm just trying to make that camera better for Facebook. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm going to wait. No. Yep, that's it. Perfect. Right, so these people are watching you all the time. If you're profane, these people are watching you, yeah? Because they want to know who is going to be taking the power. Do you know what I mean? Off them, yeah? And anyone who's a threat or a danger to them, they're going to kill or assassinate. Me, yeah, like today I went in a garage and this Mason followed me. I got him on camera anyway. He goes into the garage, he pulls in, he sits there, he pulls up no petrol, and then he drives out again. What a fucking retard. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's a gang stalker, you see. But whether his car is now associated to that, you know, Masonic lodge or a criminal gang, yeah, is yet to be seen. Yeah, I haven't got to investigate that. If I'm killed or anything, I rely on you people to investigate that, because you are the truthers. Do you know what I mean? And you can come to this town and stick your cameras into people's faces when my videos come out. Do you see what I mean? Because I've got them all anyway. So anyway, that's another story. But these people are watching you, believe it. And if you don't think they are, you just start standing in your town going Freemason this, Freemason that. You'll start be getting stalked, because they'll put a team of people on you as quick as lightning, and you'll be followed, and then they'll start harassing you, anything to get you to go back into the herd of his sheep. Trust me. These people are gang stalkers, and they stalk anyone that's a threat to the Masonic order within any town or city, because they want to keep that power. They ain't going to let you, the profane, a peasant, have any sort of business. They want you stacking the shelves and being a slave for them, all right? Because they are everywhere. It's not we are, they are everywhere. They are everywhere, these Freemasons. Believe it, I'm going to show you. Yeah, their army is vast. You may not see them because they don't wear their aprons, but if they came out in their aprons, or we put a stamp of a G on everything they own, you go, fuck, we've been invaded. Do you know what I mean? That's as simple as that, you know. The rules are simple. They lie to us. We know they're lying. They know we know they're lying, but they keep lying to us and we keep pretending to believe them. Indeed, how profane of us. You know what I mean? And that's the truth. Freemasons lie. Everyone lie. The government, I'm going to show you that in the video as I go through. Do you know what I mean? They lie, 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 lie. They ain't going to tell you the truth about anything. Because the only people investigating anything are Freemasons anyway. And they control all the investigations and all committees that investigate the government or anything else. Yeah, these people are born liars. They're going to tell you nothing. So long as you get the lie, yeah, and it keeps you in control with fear, they're happy. You know what I mean? This is what Freemasonry like us to wear, yeah? They want us to be hoodwinked, yeah? So we don't see nothing. Do you know what I mean? We don't see anything they do, and we don't. We're the hoodwink people, yeah? And when the Freemasons take the hoodwink off, they reckon they can see the light, yeah? But I believe everyone up from Master Mason or even just above there are all cannon fodder. Do you know what I mean? Because the elite, and if you ain't in their blood or got their blood, then you ain't going nowhere. You're cannon fodder because you've got no fucking history. So if you're joining this legion of nation of people, yeah, then all you are is a mug to Freemasonry, because you're just a ring of protection for these fucking people that are going to sell out everyone to keep their own ranks. Do you think, you know, if there's a pile of lords and dukes, yeah, standing there, and you had 100,000 profane people, who do you think they're going to slaughter? They're going to slaughter the profane. Do you know what I mean? That's exactly what they're going to do. And just because you go, I'm a Master Mason or a Mark Master Mason or whatever else, you will be slaughtered right along beside us. Do you know what I mean? Because all you're at this is a mug protecting a fraternity of fucking corrupt criminals, and that's all you are. You're nothing but anyone who's a Master Mason or a Mark Master Mason or whatever. You're being hoodwinked. You've still got your hoodwinks on, mate. You know what I mean? You need to take them off, and that's as simple as that. You know. By the way, hoodwink has 3 changes: light, darkness, and tablean, produced without moving it from the face, so they can get the 3 different. See, it's always 3 with them, yeah. You get the 3. I forgot what the word is now. Never mind, it doesn't matter anyway. But again, look, this school of knights and squad excerpts from drill regulations of the Grand Encampment of Knights Templar of the United States of America. Now you've got an encampment, yeah, in every town and city of Knights Templars, yeah, and they're drilling, yeah. You know what I mean? They're not called a drill, they're not drilling, or they're called a squad for nothing. Do you know what I mean? It's because they're an army, yeah, and they'll rise up and put you profane people down like they've done every decade or century as they see fit to do so. Do you know what I mean? And they'll continue to do that. Now, having thought it needful to warn you of the mischief of evils practiced in the sight of God by those called Freemasons, yeah. Now remember, it's called Freemasons because they spelt different back in London. This was in 1698, this was, yeah. So if they're warning you in 1698, yeah, and we're now talking 30 decades later or whatever the frig it is, yeah, is it 16, 17, 18, 19, so 40 decades or whatever the frig it is, yeah, decades or centuries, I don't know. So we're talking 4 centuries or whatever, yeah, but you know what I'm on about. So this was in 1698, yeah, and nothing's been changed, and you're being warned then. What has changed? Nothing. Do you see what I mean? Because they still roll, they still control, and that's it. When they wiped the Knights Templars out, when they did Demole, apparently they all went. How come they're still around today? Drilling and doing the same thing. Nothing's ever done about them. Do you know what I mean? Because they just go underground and no one knows how to recognise them or thingy them because you don't know the signs and the symbols. Hitler did, that's why he persecuted them. You know what I mean? Because he was a Freemason himself and he persecuted the enemy, which were his Freemason. He was a Freemason, but his lodge didn't coexist with their lodges, so they were Freemason, his enemies. Do you know what I mean? Same as the North and the South. Basically, it's a civil war between Freemasons. Do you know what I mean? That don't get on. Do you know what I mean? This side A, this side B. Do you know what I mean? So you had Hitler on A, you had Hitler's Freemasons on side A, and you had the Axis Freemasons on side B, and that was it. That was just Freemasons fighting Freemasons. Same as the First World War, same as the Civil Wars, everything. It's all to do with Freemasonry, you know what I mean? And when they're not persecuted, it's just that they were fighting each other and they were enemies of other Freemasons. Do you know what I mean? And that's all it was. But they'll say they were persecuted. They weren't persecuted. They were fighting other Freemasons, and that's what the war was all about. Yeah. Right. Freeman. I say take care lest their ceremonies and secret swearings take hold of you, and be wary that none cause you to err from godliness. For the devilish sect of men are meters in secret, which swear against all without their following. They are the Antichrist, which was to come, leading men from fear of God. For how should men meet in secret places and with secret signs, taking care that none observe them to do the work of God? Are not there the ways of evildoers? Of course they are, because they're doing everything behind our back. So you don't do nothing up front. Do you know what I mean? Ever. You see a policeman, that's a Freemason. He's just not doing the work of the Freemasons up front. He's doing it behind the scenes. Do you know what I mean? And this is what this is warning you. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I said, how can they be leading men from fear of God? For how should men meet in secret places and with secret signs, taking care that none observe them to do their work? You know what I mean? Get it? Knowing that God observed the privily, them that fit in the darkest, they shall be smitten, and the secrets of their hearts laid bare. Mingle not amongst this corrupt people, lest you be found at the world's conflagration. There you go. Set forth as the warning to this Christian generation by M.A. Winter, and printed by R. Sear at Gray's Ingate in Holborn, 1698. And there you go. That's a warning from 1698, and still these Freemasons are fucking prevalent in everything. Again, this is from Morals and Dogma, right? Albert Pike. Humanity has never really had but one religion and one worship. This universal light has had its uncertain mirages, okay? Now I'm going to go through it all. I'll leave it there so you can read it. I'll just read the yellow parts, yeah? Did the deity leave the world without light for 200 centuries that illuminate only a little corner of Palestine and a brutal, ignorant and ungrateful people? Why, and I'm going to go in that, were we never any others? Were these men all deceived like the rest? Lucifer was this light? And that's what he's got here. Again, this is what Freemasons written, not what I've put in. Yeah, this is what Freemasons put in. The true name of Satan, the Kabbalists say, is that of Yahweh, reversed. Yeah, for Satan is not a black god, but the negation of God. The devil is personification of atheism or idolatry. For the initiate, this is not a person, but a force, created for good, but which may serve for evil. It is the instrument of liberty or free will. They represent this force which presides over the physical generation. Horned, again I'll go into this, under the mythological and horned form of the god Pan. Thence came the he-goat of the Sabbath, brother of the ancient serpent, and the light bearer or phosphor, of which the poets have made the false Lucifer of legend. Gold to the eyes of the Isit is light condensed. About Pike, does not equate Lucifer with Satan. Satan was a negation of God. Lucifer was the light bearer of ancient times before Christ. So there you go. You make it what you will, my profane friends. Do you know what I mean? I'm just reading the old thing. I'll leave that there so you can read it. I'll go down slow. Hopefully you can read it anyway. But I'll read the yellow bits. I don't mind that. Please note, Toff of the Egyptians. Though. I always go back to Egyptians. I always go back to Rome. Okay? Again, look, to the three sides of the triangle belong the three great names, yeah? That's in Hebrew, I presume. Lahava, Adonai and Alga. They use these as actual passwords in Freemasonry. Okay. Right, here we go. Masonry, like all the religions, all the mysteries, Hermetism and alchemy, conceals its secret from all except the adepts and the sages or the elect, and uses false explanations and misinterpretations of its symbols to mislead those who deserve only to be misled. Okay? To conceal the truth which it calls light from them, and to draw them away from it. Truth is not for those who are unworthy or unable to receive it, or would pervert it. So God himself incapacitates many men by colour blindness to distinguish colours, and leads the masses away from the highest truth, given them the power to attain only so much of it as it is profitable to them to know. Every age had a religion suited its capacity. The teachers, even of Christianity, are in general the most ignorant of the true meaning of that which they teach. There is no book of which so little is known as the Bible. To most who read it, it is incomprehensible as the Sohar, whatever that means. And I'm not going to get into it. I don't really get into this stuff, you know what I mean? Here we go, look. The Invisible Empire, Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. I shouldn't be saying that because I wouldn't like to get booted out of the bloody room. But again, these were Freemasons, do you know what I mean? Faultless, fearless and forever faithful, do you know what I mean? But that's what that Freemasons are. We'll get into that a bit later. Now here's your girls, look. You see them into the perfect square and calm piss. This is the Royal Masonic School for girls, yeah? And you can see, look, how they're drilling, look, already, yeah, they're already drilling into these elite kids, right? And again, you can look at the paintings on the wall, look, see that? The Lords, the Dukes and Wells on there, and all these people across there, look, that's the Queen, I believe, right? That's the Queen there, right? And the Lords and the Dukes beside her, left and right, yeah? These people here, they're more than likely Freemasons protection squad, do you know what I mean? But look how they got the girls, the youngsters, yeah, the next generation, and this goes on today, how they're formed into the square and perfect square and calm piss. Notice there's 6 girls here, look, right? And 6 girls on the other side, right? Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on that side and 9 on that side. So you go figure what that means, you know what I mean? 6s and 9s, you know? So it could be 3 9s. What is that? You know what I mean? Who knows? Who knows? I'm not, you know. But there you go. You've got the young girls, the next generation of Freemasons, yeah, the women's army that is, ready to go into the society and work for these Lords, Dukes and Earls. Do you know what I mean? And they're already being indoctrinated that you are the profane. Do you know what I mean? Outside the temple, without the temple. And here's a couple of Freemason girls here, look. You see what I mean? Wearing their Shriner hats, look, you see? This is what I'm saying. Anyone can be a Freemason and look like anyone. Do you know what I mean? Freemasons come in all shapes and sizes that you wouldn't even believe. Do you know what I mean? Unreal, innit? Unreal. But there you go. Like I said, remember, it's not just a man's fraternity, it's a women's fraternity as well. And their army is just as vast as the men. Okay? They drill, they drill and they do the same as the men. Again, look, they try and get this in your house, look. Recognise this? Taco Bell, that's all those, so the symbolism, if you notice, for the Royal Bank of Scotland, no, HSBC Bank, look, it's the same symbolism, but they try and get it in your house. Do you see what I mean? As you can see, as above, so below triangles, you know what I mean? You can see the square and compass plainly in there. Do you know what I mean? But I say they try and get it into your house. Sneaky little buggers, isn't they, them Freemasons? I thought I'd slap that in there, you know. But here we go, look, here's the Freemasons on the march, look. And that's an army band, alright? That's that's a band marching in front of their army. Do you know what I mean? And here they come, look. You see? Here come the army, look. And you don't think these people here, do you see any profane people are marching like this? In uniform, that is. When we march as a rabble, yeah? If you watch a profane people, when they march on any rally, they're marching like rabble, yeah? You watch Freemasons march, they march as soldiers, yeah? As an army, do you know what I mean? That's the difference between you and a Freemason if you're profane, you know what I mean? Freemasons are organised, yeah? Well organised. The profane, a rabble. You got nothing, mate, you profane. Again, look, here they are, look. Well dressed, all top hats and bowlers, you know what I mean? They're all your businessmen, you know what I mean? They still run the towns today, you know what I mean? You line up all the Freemasons in your town or city today, that'll be all the businessmen, all the rich elite, do you know what I mean? That have cousins and nephews in other towns ruling the same thing, do you know what I mean? Getting the best of everything. And this is what your Freemasons are. Some slaughterhouses use a Judas goat, yeah? That's what Freemasons are, Judas goats. It is trained goat that will calmly lead livestock, that's you the profane, to their slaughter while its own life is spared. And that's what the Lords, Dukes and Earls are going to do, you know? They're going to use Freemasonry that you don't even know exist anyway, half of the people. And they're just going to lead them, you know what I mean? They'll lead them into war, do you know what I mean? Because that war is a big distraction, a big distraction. Well, I'm just going to have a look. Now, yeah, look, welcome to the official website for Hampshire and Isle of Wight. Now, if you know the size of Isle of Wight, yeah, we have the largest number of members in our county boundaries outside of London, with over 250 individual lodges on the Isle of Wight, and approximately 8,500 members, meeting in one of 37 centres and halls. Work that out, yeah? So if there's 37 centres, right, or halls, right, within them 37 centres, they've got 250 lodges. Is that right? I don't know, you tell me. You know what I mean? Research it. Can you see how vast that army is? Right, let me just have a look at some of these. Wait a minute. Hello. Hi, Sturt. Hi, DI4 Bud. Or a dodgy lawsuit. Yeah, lawyers, that's right. Moloch was here. Beast, yeah, just over 3 centuries. That's it, mate, yeah. Thanks, Ian. How can you become a Freemason? You press delete off this live and then walk into a toilet and flush your head down there. You know what I mean? That's how you become a Freemason, you fool. Right, anyway. That's Sonny Max. Bloody idiot. Right, carrying on. Now here's a Masonic centre here. Look, outside, look, on the rails. You see these are just square and compass, look, where they bowed them over. Okay? But that is square and calm piss. Obviously the building next door, look, square, Jack and Boaz, look, yeah, they're more than likely connected with a tunnel anyway. All of these buildings along here, they'll all be connected. But notice again, look, you've got 3, look, crosses. There's always 3 because it gives you 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6 on either side. Also it gives you 33 degree. You've got the 4 square in there. You know what I mean? All Masonic symbolism. Do you know what I mean? And that's what you've got to watch for in your towns, in your cities. Yeah. Grand Commandery, Knights Templar. Grand Chapter, Royal Archmasons. Grand Council, Royal and Select Masters. So you imagine how many men they had there in 1981. The York Rite of Freemasonry of New Mexico, that is, by the way. Like I said, the Spanish or the Mexican Civil War was all to do with Freemasons. Do you know what I mean? The mallet. The Freemason is taught in the course of the first degree that the mallet is an important instrument of labour, without which no work of manual skill can be complete. and he learns that at a later stage that it is the emblem by which a master is invested with the authority to rule his lodge. Okay, and by giving the master the authority to rule over his lodge, they're giving him power and an ego trip. You know, I'm a master. Whoa. You know what I mean? I'm better than the profane. You know what I mean? It's all to do with ego, and everyone below him is licking his ass. See, right, master? Do you know what I mean? Is thus at once the first tool to be put into untrained hands of the apprentice, and a symbol of the highest office to which the apprentice may aspire when he has become a master mason. Considerable confusion exists as to the mallet, the gavel and the setting maul. As a matter of general usage, the word mallet is used to denote all three, but sticklers for Masonic, obviously, sticklers for thingy, but this is, here it is, this is the one, yeah? Sticklers for Masonic tradition will use the other words, obviously. But here it is, look. The candidate I have, will you communicate it to me? I will, if you will give me the first syllable. You begin. And then the candidate go dom. See, dom. And he replies whiz, yeah? Which is wisdom, yeah? See, domWis is wisdom, yeah? Which is knowledge. What does the word donate? The proper use of knowledge, yeah? domWis is the proper use of knowledge. The grip is given by the hand of the opposite person in the ordinary manner of shaking hands. Interlace the little fingers between the third and fourth finger, the thumb across the finger between the first and second knuckle joint, yeah? The sign of recognition is by going, and this is the good one, is given by placing the first two fingers of your right hand over your right eye, the thumb and two first fingers closed, then drop the hand to the side, yeah? And that's like the, you know, the all-seeing eye, obviously, yeah? It is answered in the same manner, and the sign of a salutation, which is a salute because it's an army, is given by placing the right hand, palm forward, horizontally on the forehead, throwing the hand off in a graceful manner. Candidate should imitate, and then obviously it goes on and on and on. But that's the domWis, that is domWis for knowledge, yeah? So when I say domWis, that means wisdom, okay? Now, here's some Masonic, you know, you asked some quiz words. I'm going to, wait there, let me go into this next one. This is Masonic symbolism you should watch out for, yeah? Because they use this on paperwork, they use this on buildings to mark your house. You know what I mean? If you're a, like these little three here, see these denote the shooting star in frame, or the comet in Freemasonry, you see? Obviously you've got the square and compass here. And here. I think that's four square. You've got the pyramid with a circle. You've got the old, can't say too much what that is, because they stop your videos, don't they? I don't know why. Are you not allowed to say a word on a video? I don't know. But there you go. And as you can see, some of the square and compasses denote different, like, little points on them, yeah? But everything denotes a different rank or a different meaning, depending. These are Mason marks, by the way. Right. To elevate Freemasonry, to restore it to its status, it once claimed as a science other. Oh yeah, these are Masonic master lodges, yeah? They're separate again from the other ones, but we don't want to get into that yet. Okay. And this is the perfect ashlers, yeah? We are the rough ashlers. You need to understand that, yeah? Now listen. Here's the ashler. The rough ashler is a stone, rough and unhewn, as when taken from the quarry, and by the skill and industry of the workman it is wrought into a due form and rendered fit for the intended structure. So we're not fit for anything, right? Because we're the rough ashlers, right? This represents to us the mind of a man in his infant and primitive or savage state. Yeah, we're primitive, you see what I mean? We're savage, you know what I mean? Anyway, so state rough and unpolished as a stone until by the advantage of a liberal and enlightened education, the mind is polished and the man is rendered a fit member of civilized society. Do you see what I mean? So unless you're a Freemason, they don't think you're a fit member of civilized society. Do you see what I mean? That's how they look at you, the profane. Do you know what I mean? The man is rendered fit by a member of civilized society. Do you see what I mean? The perfect ashlar is a stone of true dye, a perfect cube, remember the Masonic cube, 232, which can be tried only by the square and compass. You see? So the 232 makes the square and compass. You see? This represents to us the mind of man in his declining years, after a life well spent in acts of piety and virtue. A mind thus disciplined and matured can no otherwise be tried and approved than by the square of God's word and by the compasses of his own self-convincing consciousness. The above is taken from the revised ritual. See, do you see what I'm saying? This is how they think of you. Do you know what I mean? It's mad, isn't it? Right. Oh, yeah, pupils aged 5 asked if they are, hey. You know what I mean? That's them who run your schools, remember that? I've shown you enough. Oh, sorry. I don't know where this is coming from, but that's his daughter. Aha! Now look at this dude here, look. See, notice the top of his hat and his two little lapels there, standing with the old dude there. Now look at it. What you end up with? Square and compass. Well, a square and compass, whatever way you look at it anyway, innit? You know what I mean? Square and compass. It's everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Again, this is what square and compass. This is 2, 3, 2, look. 6 sides, 6 points. There's 4 square above a pyramid. Do you know what I mean? 3 nines, as above, so below. 6, 6, 6. Do you see what I mean? We can go into more of it, but I don't understand it all, so I'm not even going to pretend I do, because I don't. You know what I mean? But each and every symbolism on there means and denotes something. So, are you going to join the fight and expose the largest satanic order of the world has ever known? End Freemasonry and its 600 plus co-masonry organisations. It's a vast organisation, an army and a gang of vast proportions. You know what I mean? Anyway, if you don't, well, you can stop complaining anyway. As long as we do what they tell us to, everything's going to be fine. And like I said, so long as you keep stacking shells, you keep saying no, and all the rest of it, then you'll be alright. But as soon as you turn on these people and they rise up out of the lodge, that's what they're going to be doing with all of you profane. They ain't going to do that no more though. They're going to say, come here and rally, yeah, we'll meet something. Everyone's going to turn up and they're just going to lay a bomb on you all. And then that's just going to shut you down. Do you know what I mean? Do it in one hit. Guarantee it. Now, remember, your police are Freemasons. See the square and compass in there? See the 232? This is your Masonic police, look. See the 232? 3 steps in Masonry, 5 steps in Masonry, subtotal 7, which puts the G in the middle of the square, and compass. This is your police force. They work for the Freemasons, yeah? Look, 2, 3, 2. 3 steps in Masonry, 5 steps in Masonry, subtotal 7 puts the G in the middle of the square and compass. I've only gone through this. Look at my videos, mate. You know exactly what it is. It makes the Masonic cube. Yeah? That's what it is, babies. Do you know what I mean? Square and compass. This is your police. You know what I mean? This is my Great Yarmouth police station, look. 3 Masonic cubes. Yeah? The perfect ashlars. Yeah? To look after the Masonic establishment of the master masons within the town, the lords, the dukes and the earls. That's all the police station's there's for. You've got the perfect cube in the middle with 33-degree Freemasons. Do you see what I mean? 33 degrees. That's a great Now, if you ain't sure how vast Freemasonry is within your town or city, this is Omaha, Kansas City, Louisiana, Indiana, blah blah blah. This is Illinois, and all of these little markings here are pins where Masonic lodges are. Where's the landmass? You see what I mean? Where's the landmass on it? That's how vast it is. This is Ohio Masonic lodges. Do you see what I mean? Why do they need so many Masonic lodges? They already conquered the earth. Do you know what I mean? Already conquered it. Now, if you ain't sure who's ruling your town or city, pop to your graveyard, and we're getting into some of this where the bodies are going in a minute. Yeah, is Minecraft Masonic? Yes, it has loads of symbolism in it. Yes, pop along and you'll see your pharaoh worship. You'll see this in Washington, in every town and city around the world. Yeah, these, especially in the graveyards, and the ones in the graveyard are the top masons that ruled your county or ruled your state. Do you know what I mean? And obviously the more stature or the more family, then you get it like this. The bigger the dick. I mean, the bigger the pole. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, depending on how big your status is within that town or within that city. Or do you think a profane person can afford granite like this? You know what I mean? You think a profane person could buy that? That's a house there. You know what I mean? Look at the size of that one. Look. This guy had a lot of influence within this town and city. Look. You know what I mean? A lot of influence. And don't forget, they put the world domination balls on these as well. Look. Okay. As you can see, these are all Masonic graves, and they run your town, they run your city. You can find them anywhere. See? Family members. They run your towns, they run your cities. How about that one? You think a profane person can afford that? You've got no chance. Look at the gravestones, they tell you they're Freemasons. Do you know what I mean? Yeah? It's all on there, look. Square and compass, the level and all of that. This comes from my friend, this dude in America. Great dude, he gets some right symbolism. He has power. Now this is what your bailiffs are. Look. A bailiff, yeah, is a Freemason, yeah? They don't take your chickens no more, they come around and take your houses, because it all goes to the lodge in the end, and they're your lords, look. The lords and their bailiffs, yeah? You know what I mean? Because you're on their land. Do you know what I mean? And you're on their land, they're going to ask you for rent, and if you can't pay it, or their fines, they send the bailiff round, which is a lord, a duke or an earl. Do you know what I mean? And that's what these people are. And as you can see, look, this is Sir William Henry Venables, yeah? See the heraldry in the top right corner, look, see? That's all these people here that stole the wealth over the years, yeah? These lords, the dukes and the earls, do you know what I mean? And if you don't pay, they just come riding over with their knights. John Hand, bailiff for Joe. These are all bailiffs, these are all Freemasons. And it's turned down. Look at the symbolism of his hand, look, yeah? That's another story, my profane friends. This guy's doing the same thing, look. See the Masonic M? See? But again, they're all bailiffs, yeah? Bailiffs and Freemasons, yeah? These are the people that keep stealing your property. And when they steal it, it just goes, it goes into the government. Well, the government, what they stand behind again, is just the Freemasons, yeah? And like I said, so long as they're getting everything they need or want, that's all they're caring about. You know what I mean? That's all they care about. Every day is a skull day. Always something to learn. You know that, my profane lion of lights. Again, look, bailiff. He was in 1858, look, 1800s, yeah? Again, another bailiff, another Freemason, yeah? Nothing's changed. Do you know what I mean? Why ain't my picture changing on my screen? Something's going on here. Wait there, it's gone fishy. Look at that. I don't know why. It looks like it's stuck. Oh well. Again, another bailiff, look, 1858 to 1800. You know, I've been to my town hall. Go to your town hall. Here's the hidden hand, look. See? The hidden hand of Freemasonry. Another Freemason. Bailiff for Jersey. These are all Jersey bailiffs. But you just do your local ones, you know what I mean? All the same. And here's another, look. His Royal Highness George, yeah? Duke of Kent, look. You know what I mean? And that's all the bailiffs used to answer to, you know. As you can see, he's got his Knights Templar cloak on. And they're the ones that rule you. You know, they're the ones that stole all your land and all your property. Do you know what I mean? Oh, right there. For some reason I'm going to restart and come back in. because that hit me. Don't worry, I'm still here, my profane friends. Hopefully this is going alright. If not, I ain't got a bloody clue. Right, so anyway, moving on. Right, here, Moses, the Masonic altar is a consecration by the Book of Law, yeah, the sacred Book of Law. Right there, where is it here? Something here. No, not this one, sorry. The Bible is opened. When a stranger presents himself to your notice in the character of a Mason, it behoves you to be particularly cautious in your endeavours to ascertain whether his pretensions be genuine. For if he should prove to be a Cowan, the slightest word or hint which he might gather from any indiscreet disclosure on your part would be sufficient for the foundation of the hypothesis that would be boldly trumpeted forth as a new and important discovery. Beware of it. And that's why they don't speak in front of you guys. Do you know what I mean? Because all they're interested in, yeah, is keeping the crime between themselves of what they do to us, yeah. It is a healthy doctrine that in an open lodge all the brethren are on the level, but when it is closed they are apart on the square, yeah. But this does not extend beyond the four walls of the lodge room. In the world, right, because like I said, when they leave the lodge, yeah, which is another world, yeah, you're on a completely different world then, yeah, right. In the world, honour must be given where honour is due, and a Mason who belongs to the lower classes of society, through admitted amongst us under the influence of a good report for regularity of conduct and propriety of demeanour, is not to presume on that account to take any undue liberties with his superior in rank. Again, rank, superiors in rank, beyond those to which he would have entitlement were he not a Mason. Do you see what I mean? Again, showing you that their army walks amongst us and it's not changed. Yep, all you're right, posh lips. Very well. All judges in court are Freemasons. All, none. There's not one that ain't. Thus, in the most ancient examinations we possess, the master only is mentioned thus. How many steps belong to a right Mason? 3. There's your 3 again. Give me the solution. I will. The right worshipful master and worshipful fellows of the right worshipful lodge from whence I came greet you well. With us 3 brethren from a master Mason's lodge, while a section of the constitutional Masons contend that the number ought to be 9. Again, there's that 9, yeah? So to open any lodge, there must be 3 Masons, yeah? There can be 9 as well. So if you get 3 Masons in the toilet, they can open a Masonic lodge. That's how, that's how they open, right on the spot. Do you know what I mean? They can open a lodge anywhere, yeah? And discuss a tactic or something or a plan to proceed if they've got a problem with you. Do you see what I mean? They'll run off, 3 of them. They'll open a lodge. They'll have a discussion about it, and then they'll come and deal with you as they see fit. And that's on the spot. That is. Thus, the constitutions provide that every master, when placed in the chair, shall solemnly pledge himself to observe all the old established usages and customs, and to preserve the landmarks of the order, and most strictly to enforce them within his own lodge. He must also take care that the bylaws of the lodge be faithfully written, and that books be kept in which he or some brother appointed by him as secretary shall enter the names of its members and of all persons initiated or admitted therein, with the dates of their proposal, initiations or admission, passing and raising, also their ages as nearly as possible, and their titles, professions or trades, together with such transactions of the lodge are proper to be written. The accounts shall also be regularly kept, and fees payable to the Grand Lodge shall be entered in a separate and distinct account. The master is responsible for the correct insertion of all the above particulars, and is bound to produce such lists, minutes and accounts when required by any lawful authority. You see that? Any lawful authority above him, which is the ugle, yeah? And that's the problem with it. And when they don't, That's when wars break out. Do you see what I mean? The above examination has the following important passage. Who rules and governs the lodge and is master of it? And it says I-R-A-H, Ira. And then you got like the Knights Templar cross or the right pillar. Okay? How is it governed? By the square. See? Now you got to understand that. Do you know what I mean? Now, who rules and governs the lodge and is master of it? Ira. But I think that's supposed to be the other way around. I think it's Hari. But I ain't too sure. Don't quote me on that. Or the right pillar. How is it governed? By the square. Okay? I think I covered that actually. I might put something in it. No one but a master spirit ought to be entrusted with the government of a lodge. You reading that? You listening to that? Listen. By the square. Okay? No one but a master spirit ought to be entrusted with the government of a lodge. Master spirit. What spirit? What is a spirit? Do you know what I mean? Okay? He must possess a moral influence over the brethren, and that influence should have been purchased by a self-devotion to welfare of the lodge during his whole membership, which has not only attracted the attention but also has obtained the admiration and applause of the brethren. For a lodge cannot be permanently prosperous unless the worshipful master possesses their full confidence. The chief officer ought not only to know what the brethren are doing in the lodge, but also how they employ their time out of it. They are amenable to his control and ought to regard him as their protector and advisor in all cases of doubt and difficulty. Do you see what I mean? What they're doing in the lodge, but also how they employ their time out of it. Do you see what I mean? They're well looked on, you know what I mean? There's spies out everywhere. And real. If IRA stands for person, the above answer might be interpreted by the word fear. You see what I mean? They're all in fear of the all-seeing eye. As the fear of God means he has taught. Whence Thora, the law, has its derivation. This explanation, which is given by Cross, is scarcely sufficient. The word may be an anagram, while some think it stands for Hiram, and others that is an abbreviation of the word Jehovah, Jireh. J-I-R-A-H. Anyone interested in that? The man who is guided by wisdom will be just, because he is convinced that it is their interest to obey the laws and to do no injury to anyone. He will be frugal and temperate, because he clearly perceives that excessive indulgence in pleasure is followed by the loss of health, reputation and fortune. He will possess true courage, because he knows danger and necessary bit of braving it. His other virtues flow from the same principles, or rather they are only wisdom applied to the different circumstances of life. Beautiful, beautiful. In exemplifying the science of Freemasonry, an author is bound in fetters from which the professors of all other arts and sciences are free. There are many points of great importance which he trembles to approach. In viva do lecture, within the walls of a tiled lodge, the worshipful master is unrestricted and at full liberty to expatiate on any of the recondite subjects which are embodied in the signs and symbols, ornaments, furniture and jewels, whether relating to the rites and ceremonies, doctrines and disciplines, or to historical, symbolic or arcane facts and distinctions. But the author who ventures to illustrate some of these subjects in printed form must be especially careful not to overleap the boundaries which Masonic law has erected for the exclusion of cowans, which is us, the profane, and other curious impertinents. Yeah, we're impertinent, we are. Who are desirous of penetrating the secrets of Freemasonry without a legitimate introduction into the lodge, where alone they are freely communicated. Propriety is the mental titler, which bars the Masonic writer from disclosing the nature of those occult practices that ought never to be whispered. You see, disclosing the nature of those occult practices that ought never to be whispered. And that's what it's all about. Shh, no one must know we are a cult. You know what I mean? We do witchcraft and have wands. Do you know what I mean? Right, beyond the sacred precincts of the consecrated floor. Under these circumstances, the composition of a guide to the lodge becomes surrounded with many difficulties, for the fraternity are apt to expect more information than can consistently be impaired. I have, however, endeavoured to gratify the Masonic student on all open subjects of discussion by revising the present edition with the greatest care, because as practical work it is the utmost importance that it should be as correct as may be practicable without the violation of any solemn pledge. For this purpose it has been rewritten, differently constructed, and although there are necessarily many things omitted on which the reader, especially if he is a young Mason, might be desirous of the information, yet it is hoped that on the whole considerable improvement has been effected. The omissions could scarcely have been supplied without incurring a breach of faith, which it will be the study of every genuine Mason carefully to avoid. Notwithstanding the absence of all prohibited subject, it will be found that the considerable quantity of additional matter has been condensed into a Freemasonry having become one of the established institutions of the country. I think I got that backwards. Sorry about that. Oh, baby. Because as a matter of general interest in the community at large, ancient prejudices have been removed by display of its correct principles in published work, and it is increasingly influenced in every part of the world is a fact patent to the most superficial observer. Under these circumstances, it's not surprising that another edition of the Book of the Lodge should be called for. The rapid sale of the two former editions in this country, to say nothing of its republication in the United States and elsewhere, is exceedingly gratifying to me personally, as it inspires the pleasing hope that my exerts in my cause of masonry have not been entirely void of fruit, and constitutes an unmistakable indication that the fraternity in other countries as well as our own have esteemed it to be a clear and conscious illustration and arrangement of the incidental ceremonies of masonry, and a useful manual to relieve the embarrassments which must necessarily be felt in the absence of an authoritative. See, I've got all this backwards. It is used amongst Masons. It is an emblem of eternity and morality, because it is not liable to perfection itself. It preserves everything that is seasoned with it from decay. Reginald Scott, in his discourse concerning devils and spirits, again, asserts that the devil loveth no salt to his meat, for that is a sign of eternity, and used by God's commandments in all sacrifices. In like manner, the science of Freemasonry be aptly symbolised by salt, because it is eternal and will never decay. It's rotten. How do you say that? It's rotten. Anyway, it has existed from the creation. Do you see what I mean? So Freemasonry, according to these, has existed from the creation. So Adam and Eve was Freemasons, and she was an Eastern Star, and it will remain a blessing to man till this earth is burnt up and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and then love universal shall exist forever amongst the glorified fraternity of saints and angels. This is how these people think. Do you know what I mean? You see what I mean? They've been around from the creation, yeah, and will remain even when the earth is burnt up and the elements shall melt in fervent heat. Do you see what I mean? Their ego knows no bounds. But anyway, now, am I logged in or not? Oh, wait there, video warning. Your live flagged. Oh, you see what I mean? I got flagged for being a bloody nightmare by the look of things. Right, end live, 6 viewers are currently watching. No, I'm still in. Okay, I was still going. Alright, sorry. I got flagged for something I said. I don't know what I said. Oh no, what a joke. It's okay, I'm still here. All judges are coffee. Right, I'm still here. Let me just see if I'm still okay. Right, anyone what? Right, I'm still going, but it looks like it's not bloody picking up anything. It looks like it's stopped. I'm still alright though, so we'll carry on. Yo, how you doing, profane friend? I'm still going. I suppose that is going. I can't see it. Everything this end is paused, so, and it looks okay. Anyway, I'll carry on. Right, the ritual magician also looks to other planes of existence, yeah, because in Freemasonry it's planes, okay, what they go on, you know, like well, we're getting into, you know, a bit more of their hokey pokey stuff, yeah, but anyway, to the astral planes. These planes are inhabited by entities other than human beings, known as secret chiefs, oliphanthic forces and the gods, amongst other names. Much magical work is in the astral. Finally, most ritual magicians have adopted a Kabbalistic initiation system. You see what I mean? And again, this is Freemasonry, yeah? Do you know what I mean? Where they, again, going with it, you know, like where they're dealing with other entities and bring into this plane, do you know what I mean? When they're doing their witchcraft, yeah? Again, look, the Telegraph, England's first spiritualist newspaper, was founded, yeah? The Telegraph, remember, was a spiritual paper. This helped to stir popular interest in things supernatural. On the other hand, the magical writings of Levi, the existence of Socrates, Societas Rosicruciana in Anglia, and the continuing impact of speculative Freemasonry provided fertile soil in which new magical orders could grow. Do you see what I mean? So they're a magical order, yeah, but they don't say that, do you know what I mean, out in the open to us, the profane. In the 1850s and 1600s, a group using Barrett Magus gathered around the psychic Fred Hockley, trying to make use of magic formulas. Like I said, it's just like Hogwarts. In 1888, the two traditions merged to produce the Isis Urania Temple of the Golden Dawn. Look them up, Temple of the Golden Dawn. It's all Masonic, yeah. And this is what I'm on about. They you know, shh, you know, they're all like, shh, keep quiet. We're not supposed to tell anyone they're magic, you know what I mean? Or they use witchcraft, but they do, you know. But keep that quiet and to yourselves, yeah. Shh, you know what I mean? Shh, my profane friends. Oh, yeah, there's a Freemason. See, well, this is what they indoctrinate into your people, yeah. But I can't say too much about that. You know what I mean? But this is what they're after, your children, yeah. And they're indoctrinated. Look, this is an adult. These are adult people there, and everyone is keeping shh, because this is what Freemason train you to do. Shh, keep quiet. Do you know what I mean? And that's what they train you to do. They train you to keep quiet with people that lead you like this, yeah. And you think they're good, but they're just not wearing their Masonic aprons. Do you know what I mean? So best you keep shush, or you'll end up with a statue like this in your town centre. Do you know what I mean? A man like feeding a baby. You know what I mean? You'll end up with statues like that if you keep shush. But they'll know. And like a man with a, what's he there like? You know what I mean? Smoking a cigar, this geezer. And he's got a wassy. Do you see what I mean? This is what they're trying to get through. You know what I mean? But you keep shush. It's all good, baby. It's all good. Right. To all the medical professionals who know exactly what's going on, legal professionals who know what the laws are being stomped on by police and military, who know our country is taken over by criminals under the guise of government. You took an oath to uphold the Constitution as well as being safety of this country and its citizens. I was just following orders is not going to cut it when you take the stand for crimes against humanity. Speak up while you can. Don't keep shush. You know what I mean? Now I can't say too much because they keep jamming me, so I'm hoping you can read this yourselves, alright? I'm just going to look on the camera. Is that alright? Can you read that, guys? And the Lord of Peasants. Yeah, you're bloody right. They're always watching me. You know what I mean? Good. So I'm just going to go through. This is the people that lead you. Okay. Again, look that there, right? Where my I don't know if you can see my little mouse. Oh, you can. Yeah. Well, that there is a point within a circle. Okay. Yeah. And that's a forget-me-not in the centre, which is Masonic. But we won't get into that anyway. I won't say too much. I'll let you read it. Okay. But this is the people that control you now, yeah. This is an ex-prime minister, yeah, and he was in with the Cray twins, yeah. And if you put that together with the Cray twins, then you know who's running the scene, yeah. And the Cray twins were Freemasons as well. If you're up on my videos, you'll know that, yeah? And again, this is a Freemason. He was a Freemason. That's why everything was shushed up, just like for Savile, right? Again, another well-established Freemason. See, attended parties, yeah? And again, it was shushed up. That's all you'll ever hear of anything. Shh, 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 shush. Keep quiet. Do you know what I mean? See, where are the arrests? You won't be no one gets arrested because they're all Freemasons and they're all on the level, all on the square. As soon as you start arresting these people, they're going to rise up as an army and they're going to start putting you against the wall. Do you know what I mean? Trust me, I know. Hopefully you guys have shared the link and other people have joined in on the live. Whether it is or not, I don't know. See, I shut the inquiry down because they're Freemasons. Do you see what I mean? They ain't going to tell you nothing. You're too profane to know. And because they shut it down, what are you going to do about it anyway? You're going to do nothing because you've got no power. You've got nothing. They've got the power. Again, Tony Blair, another Freemason. Do you see what I mean? Involved in various undercover things in toilets. If you know your Tony Blair, do you know what I mean? Another shush up. Do you know what I mean? See? And that's all they do. Shush up crimes. Art of crime, art of crime, art of crime. Now, this party here that he got caught in, yeah? Alright, now, again, if you look at Brian Harvey in the Red Rooms, yeah? Again, who controlled the nightclub? Who owned the nightclub, in fact? Who owned the nightclub? Who controlled the doors, yeah? The bouncers, yeah? Which would be, obviously, criminal lords, crime lords, yeah? These are the questions that are never asked. And how many were Freemasons? Do you see what I mean? That's what's never asked. And then you get your answer. Who keep having these sort of parties here? Do you know what I mean? But people don't ask. Again, ask, where's the Freemasonry? See what I mean? They probe the abuse at the MP's luxury bock, yeah? But how many are Freemasons? How many were Freemasons? Was there a Masonic lodge actually in the block of flats? Do you know what I mean? These are the questions that are never ever asked. See, found dead. See, all government officials, all Freemasons. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'll put that one down. I'll get that. Just so you can read that, yeah? Again, Freemasons, okay? And you think, you think this is all, it still didn't go on today? Of course it is. It's big money in it. NSPC, see, anyone that wants to control children, then you need to control children's homes. You need to control the social services to find out who's a displaced child. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. And I was going to get into that. I'm going to do this is going to be part 1, and then I'll do a part 2. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't think I'm going to be able to get. But this is like a warm up, yeah, of what's coming, yeah, for what I've actually got coming. So I haven't really, to be honest, I haven't got into even anything. Look, number 10 aide arrested. You see what I mean? I get the picture looks better on the bloody camera than my thingy. But there you go. Let's carry on. See, number 10. Look, again, he was a Freemason. Look, Jimmy Savile. Do you know what I mean? And the network, look. So you think how many people in number 10 that are connected to Westminster and Parliament and all the rest? What are you doing? You're all keeping shush, ain't you? You know what I mean? People like this, look. See? And he buried the document. That's what Freemasons do, look. They had the money an executive who bought ATV and buried that documentary. No, what happened? The Freemasons bought that, you know what I mean, and closed it, because that's what they do. They're the perfect people that shush things up, you know. Absolute madness. Just checking we're all right on this one. Yeah, still good. See that again? They're all Knights Templars. You know what I mean? And again, when you get caught out, yeah, like I said, they stall, delay, and Rishi, Boris, yeah, all of them. You know it, Nash Waldo. You know my profane friend. Again, look, all of these are Freemasons. Look, each and every one of them, Eastern Star and Freemasons. That's a Masonic meeting, yeah. That's a Masonic lodge meeting right there. That's not people like in Parliament or Westminster. That's a Masonic lodge. Do you know what I mean? And that's all that is. You know. And there's the worshipful master right in the middle there. Now, a society that puts their faith in criminals, blah blah blah. I don't want to say too much because they keep flagging me up and try me, you know, shut me down. You know, again, we all know about her. What's been done? Nothing. Shushed up. We know about him, another one that didn't pay. But what about all the people he was associated with? No one's paying nothing. They can hide the truth about anything. This is not about a bum. You are being lied to about everything. And I'm going to show you what you're being lied to about. You'll be surprised. Because the actual conspiracy is not worldwide. It's actually going on within your town and your city. And all it is, like I said, elite families that run your town, run your city, that keeps the profane and the poor, living poor, and working in servitude to them. And that's all that is. And it goes on decade out of century. And all they do is make you poor, and work, while they grow in wealth and power and stature. Do you know what I mean? Now, again, look, here we go, look. Yeah, there's rituals in Parliament. If you search it up, put in Masonic Lodge Westminster or Masonic Lodge Parliament, you'll find they've got 2 to 3 lodges in each place. Do you know what I mean? I think they've even now got a Masonic Lodge in Buckingham Palace, believe it or not, if you research it. You only just worked this out? No, of course I'm teaching people, hopefully, that don't know or aware. I'm trying to teach the profane, my friend. Have a look at my videos on YouTube and what I've got actually on, I don't know, what am I using, Ticktocky, and you'll see that I'm just trying to educate people, my profane friend, you know what I mean? Now, this is a Tory party in aprons, yeah? Now, again, like I keep telling you, Tory, Labour, Conservative, whatever you want to call them, they're all infiltrated by Freemasons. And when they vote how they've been told to vote in the Masonic Lodge. Do you know what I mean? And that's all it is. It's just a show, yeah? No one for the profane is voting for us. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's alright, Diz. Killing the gang, mate. Like I said, it's perfect, mate. You know what I mean? Like I said, there's a lot of domWis being done here, but if you don't want to come in, that's fine. You know what I mean? We're not like, you know, we don't force the power on anyone. Have a great day, my profane friend. Right, the Tory party in aprons. Look, in June 1988, Mrs Thatcher rewarded one of the government's party's most dedicated servants in the Queen's Birthday Honours. Neil CBE was awarded a knighthood for public and public service. Yeah, performed largely in Manchester, where he was once mayor. See, they're always a mayor. Watch. He had served on the council. See, council member, and in senior regional party, joining more than 20 years. Now in his 70s, he is still one Conservative National Board of Finance. A chartered surveyor of Westbrook, is chairman and manager director of Trafford Park, one of Britain's biggest property companies, yeah, because they own all the land anyway and the property, you know what I mean. Naturally, his knighthood was greeted with elegies and plaudits in local newspapers, yeah. See, they always get in the newspapers. That's what I'm saying. Anyone who's in the newspaper is a Freemason, yeah. I could go through my newspaper now and I could show you just Freemason out of Freemason. Do you know what I mean? They never put profane people in newspapers unless you're getting burnt or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, now then mentioned another side of life. Neil Westbrook is a Lancashire high-ranking Freemason. Do you see what I mean? And they don't mention it because they keep it quiet. Do you see what I mean? This is why he's getting a knighthood, because he's a Freemason. Do you know what I mean? And this is the thing about it. So Neil Westbrook is a Lancashire high-ranking Freemason. Very early in my research, my Masonic mole badger, past master of 7 lodges, told me Freemasonry is a mechanism of social something, and the Conservative Party is one of the main beneficiaries. Yeah, the evidence I accumulated in the next 3 years proved, however, Badger was, but it was only when I learned one of Freemasonry's best kept secrets that I gained a necessary grasp of the Brotherhood's grip on political history. When the war to the end of all wars ended in 1918, the class war began at home. Shell-shock survivors of the trenches returned to a country not for heroes to live in, but to a land of unemployment, something marches marches and industrial unrest. Even police forces went on strike. The enemy confronting biggest ruling classes was not bloody, but a revolution, but socialist reconstructions of society through the something. In the general election, party won in Ramsey MacDonald from the federal government within a year became were greatly outnumbered, Conservatives and Liberals combined. So basically, like I said, all parties, regardless of what they are infiltrated by Freemasons, and they cause the rubbish that's between it, yeah? So anyway, this man claims Freemasonry is getting even stronger as men, and I've told you this, Freemasonry is growing, as stronger as men rush to join. In northwest England, where he still lives, it is almost mandatory to join. If one is to enjoy any status in the community, you see what I mean? There are, he says, 3 standards of service in this part of Britain. Do you see what I mean? So you ain't going to have any status in any community unless you're a Freemason. Same as you ain't getting your picture or your portrait. You ain't getting no banner stuck up on the wall, you know, like a plaque, oh, here lived Mr. whatever or whatever. You ain't getting nothing unless you're a Freemason. Do you know what I mean? There's hundreds going up around this town now. Little plaques and things dedicated to the Freemasons that used to live here. Anyway, Freemason to Freemason. Nothing is too much trouble. All obstacles will be removed. Scruples count for nothing. So basically, do you know what I mean? All profane people will be pushed aside, yeah? Freemasons to non-Freemasons. And again, here we go. The non-mate Freemason must take what is left. If the interest of another Freemason clashes with those of the non-Freemason, then the Freemason must be given priority. And that's in everything. If you're going for a job, funny handshake, funny signal, he must employ the Freemason. If he don't, he goes to an internal court within the lodge, and he is fined and punished for not employing the Freemason, okay? There's a lot more to that through my videos, and I do explain that. Non-Freemason to non-Freemason, what one would expect. Cases judged on their merits, but the non-Freemason sector is not very strong and has little influence. Do you see what I mean? We've got no influence, we've got no say, we've got nothing to these people. We are bugger all. They own it all. They own your police station, they own your social services, they own the courts, they own the magistrates, they own the high courts, you know what I mean? They own your churches, they own your school boards, they own everything. You've got nothing, you've got no power. Don't expect anything from Freemasons, do you know what I mean? Right, Masonic defenders will claim these letters reek of sour grapes. Many years on, it is impossible to prove whether the events they describe ever happened. Yet, as uncoordinated tales from different parts of the country, they marry together in a believable way. Such perceptions convinced Leeds City Council in 1984 to require all of its 8,000 educated employees declare if they were Masons. A witch hunt, Masons might cry, which they do. Every time there's a vote, whether they've got to declare, they go, oh, it's a witch hunt, it's a witch hunt. But a few months later, some London Masons were casting the nastiest spells on a man who had never done them any harm. For the purpose of this book, I give him a pseudonym, a pseudonym, yeah, Kumar Patel. After extensive unemployment, he now has a full-time job at last. I've had to change one or more name, but all the rest are joining. So that no one can doubt it really happened, yeah? And this is the thing, if you go against them, they will stop you working, they take your money, they do everything in their power, yeah, to make you a perjured individual, and they will make your life hell. Do you know what I mean? Right, anyway, going back, so remember that, yeah? This is your Freemason to Freemason, and then Freemasons to non-Freemasons, yeah? Remember that, yeah? Apart from that, number 3, again it's the 3, non-Freemasons to non-Freemasons, they don't give a shit about anyway, because they're not very strong and have little influence in anything anyway. Everyone else do. And this is where you got to take back your town, take back your city, so these people can't keep answering up to the UGL, the United Grand Lodge of London, yeah, in England, and take the power away, basically, because you know we got nothing. We can't do anything against these people. Do you know what I mean? Again, look, this is on about different things. But America was founded by the Luciferian Hyksos Knights Templar and whatever the Illuminati, who now go by the name of Freemasons on behalf of the Galactic Federation and the Palladian Anunnaki races of the 9th BC Luciferian Covenant, competing Illuminati groups and their stellar co-conspirators intended to use the North American Grulla Point and their holdings of Stargate to Europe. I don't know what I'm reading here, to be honest. Where have I got this from? It sounds like a bloody Battle of Armageddon, who's placing Draconoid and Anunnaki to send in. I think this is something to do. I don't know what this is. Sorry, I don't know what that is. I'll put it in the papers anyway when I post it. Right, anyway, with the benefits of this kind of reply, I can state that the 2 latest leaders of the House of Lords are both Masons, yeah? So the Lord, so how can anyone go up against, if you're the leaders of the House of Lords and they're Freemasons, how can you go up against them? Do you know what I mean? This is some achievement for a fraternity whose influence is generally generally believed to be on the wane. Information on the craft in the House of Commons is more elusive. So in 1986, I sent a questionnaire to every male MP except Percival and Thorne, whose view I already knew. My letter contained 8 questions. Are you a Freemason? And these questions here we should send to all and everyone, do you know what I mean? Or thereabouts. We should start sending them to the police, the top ranking police, the MPs, all of these people. We should all get off, and just send a letter in with these questions. Do you know what I mean? Hello, Mason here. Well done, Mr. Mason. You're distracted by lies. Do some real research, like coming to dinner. Oh, here we go. Jack Straw made it law that freedoms don't have to declare. I know he made it law. Jack Straw, the bloody Freemason. You know what I mean? Jack Straw was a Freemason. Right, wait there. You are a philosophical fraternity. Just knock on the door, for fuck's sake. Yeah, right. Yeah, knock on the door to a bunch of gang stalking drug dealers. I don't think so. They're more than likely sacrifice me. Anyway, these are the 8 questions we need to post to our officials, our civil servants. Are you a Freemason? If yes, when and why did you join? Which is more than likely they're cowards and need protection from a gang. If yes, have you lapsed or withdrawn? If not, have you any objections to becoming one? If not, have you ever been approached to join? Which everybody gets approached to join, you know what I mean? Should MPs be obliged to disclose membership in the same way they register financial or economic interest? Should councillors, judges, police, civil servants and local government officers? Yes. Do you have any other comments, for instance, on the role of Freemasonry in British society today? Yeah, they're just gang stalking drug dealers, and every lodge is just a gang hut where they talk drug deals and murder. Do you know what I mean? And that's as simple as that. In every town, they just keep that power away from the profane people. Do you know what I mean? And that's all it is. We need to take the power back away from the Freemasons and put it back into the profane people, and make sure no Freemason has any power within any town or city. And then we need to strip them of their assets, because they robbed everyone anyway. Right, at this time, only 26 out of 650 MPs were women, right? So I sent a questionnaire to 622 men. You should have sent it to the women as well, because the women are Freemasons as well. Enclosing a stamped addressed envelope which they could return their answers. 270 did so, right? By adding a impersonal thought, I now had the views of male MPs, 44.9% of the total. I have no idea what the remaining 344 did with my envelope or stamp. They more than likely wiped their arse in and flushed it down the toilet. But perhaps they sent them to the wherever. After all, and that just goes on like that. Do you know what I mean? But this is your Freemasons. Look, again, look, right? Cloth and apron, cross and square. It is absolute useless for a Frenchman to try and understand English Masonry unless he realised that the Crown and the Anglican and the United Grand Lodge of England are one God in three persons. One God in three persons? Well, hey, baby. In early 1950s, when those words were written, King George was a dedicated Mason. See what I mean? And this is what I'm saying. See, and then we get into the lords, the dukes and earls again, yeah? Do you see what I mean? That's all it is. And all it is all their relations, yeah, like their nephews, nieces and all that, run the towns and cities for them while they live and reside in this, you know, they reside in the city and the king and what. But everyone below them, their family members, all spread out throughout the world looking after their best interests. And that's all it is. Well, anyway, in the early years, two of his brothers, the Duke of Windsor and the late Duke of Kent, had been ardent members of the craft. Today, in contrast, we have a queen who cannot be a Mason, but she's an Eastern Star and a Druid, and a consort who joined his father-in-law, Lord's Lodge, in 1953, but has rarely, if ever, donned an apron since. None of the three sons in the craft or is likely to join. In 1953, the Archbishop of Canterbury and 16 other Church of England bishops were on the square. Now it seems no Mason wears an English mitre. See what I mean? This drifts from Freemasonry has long going on for decades, but it became obvious only in 1984 when the Brotherhood emboldened Anglicans criticised the craft. They were astonished to find their hierarchy in general agreement. The ground was prepared by the Methodists, who 1985 conference considered a report voicing their main objections. Masonic secrecy is destructive of fellowship, whereas the Christians community is open to all. Candidates swear to disclose the secrets of Freemasonry before they know that what they are exactly, but Christians should not enter into ritual and obligation whose content is unknown and whose implications are shrouded in secrecy. Masons pray to a supreme being, the Gao-Tu, and the Shhh God. Don't forget the Shhh God. Shh. To allow the men of different faiths to come together, but the worship is so watered down as to be unsatisfactory in all religious traditions. Christians, and I can't read some of this, so I'm sorry, right? Supreme Being is not the God of Christians, and the prayers are never offered to Christ's name. In its rituals, Masonry seems to offer salvation through something knowledge, yeah? I don't know. The Royal Arch ritual implies that rediscovering Masonry's lost secrets may help a Mason obtain eternal life. In contrast to Christianity offers salvation through knowledge freely available to all. In some rituals, the candidate is told he is making a journey from darkness to light. This can only be interpreted as a spiritual enlightenment, but in Christianity this can be achieved only through Christ. In the third degree, the candidate is put to a symbolic death from which he is raised by Masonic ritual, which is by the Master's lion paw grip. In Christianity, the same passage from death to life is achieved through baptism. Masonry thus performs ceremonies which are equivalent to essential parts of Christian practices and offer alternatives to important elements of Christian faith. Freemasonry claims not to be religion. The reports concluded but the rituals contain religious practices and carry religious overtones. The Christians who become a Mason may compromise his beliefs and his allegiance to Christ, perhaps without realising it. Consequently, Methodists should not become Freemasons. The committee acknowledged the many sincere Methodist Masons whose commitment to Christ is unquestionable and who sees no conflict in their dual membership, but to allay suspicion they should declare they are Masons, or even better, quit Masonry altogether, which is the best advice anyone could do. Conference not only adopted this report, it banned lodges from meeting on Methodist premises, which is a load of rubbish, because I walked in on a last month, I believe, or the month before, I walked in on a Knights of Columbus, and the priest was the head bloody Knights Templar. All Masonic services now had to accede with a Methodist public worship. Henceforth, no service would proceed without a mention of Christ. Methodist Masons were appalled. The church newspaper, the Methodist Recorder, already, and again it's gone into the, I'll do this bit. A Mason's wife protested her husband's devotion to Christ and Methodism, but lamented that this anti-Masonic drive might force them both out of the church. One minister is also a Mason. She's more than likely Eastern Star. You see what I mean? They don't get, she protested her husband's devotion to Christ, but was she doing it because she was a Freemason and an Eastern Star? Do you see what I mean? That changes it a little bit, doesn't it? But anyway, I'm going to tell them not to be defeatist. Try not to feel hurt, said Reverend Frank Thurles. Don't give up to the ways of those who, again, as the page go, I didn't do it all. These are just clips, remember that, yeah? The Brotherhood and its aftermath. In today's world, the organisation which does not communicate effectively ceases to exist. Oh, we only wish it would cease to exist. You know what I mean? Flourished for more than 250 years. And look at the state of every town and city, yeah? Because they've been 250 years working in the background, you know what I mean? Making the profane bow down to their slavery. Angel Torch Masons, this was to be cautious, so not even the most penetrating stranger can find out what is not proper to be intimated, to avert discourse and manage it prudently, to be the honour, work, fraternity, order vitae. Hear, see and be silent. That's what Freemasons do. They hear the profane, they see the profane, and they be silent to what the profane are not doing. You know what I mean? Only talk in the lodge and grasp the Freemasons. The Freemasons grasp up the profane. Anyway, this is the best artwork I've seen for many years on any card. The best what do they call that? Layering or lacking, or where they look. Freemasons are of course. You know what I mean? Is it layered? What do they call that now? Lacquering or something, isn't it? Learn how to defy a Freemason de mole. Question 1. Where did your dad go to school? Which is very important. Who was your daddy? School badge and notable alumni list, and you'll find a filthy Freemason every time. Start with Etonian Freemasons. Brilliant. Oh yeah, by the way, that's Claire Brewer's. You can get her there, look. Claire Brewer, Bush Telegraph News, yeah? Go watch her. She knows about your Freemasons. Wonderful in Australia. Well, New Zealand, actually. See, our governments are corrupt, entirely infected with Freemasons, demoles, yeah? They are the enemy within, and they all got to go. You know what I mean? I love it. And of course, remember, Freemason is a gay fraternity. Lots of gay men join because they know the parties that are after. But this is the gay flag. I shouldn't be, because again I got shut down. But this is the Masonic apron and the LBDQ flag. Yeah, and it's not designed like an apron for nothing. You know what I mean? And if you look at all separators group, whether it's BLM or Extinction Rebellion, you'll find they're all been created by Freemasons, each and every one of them. Now, we're coming to an important bit now. Okay. Right, let me answer a few questions before we go to the next bit. Wait a minute. That is silly. You know, I am a Cowan. I'm the best Cowan ever, you know what I mean? Right, I'm just answering a few of these questions. Everyone's a bit, we've all gone a bit. Right, here we go. Any man worth his salt will come and see for himself. Now, but raised to Master Mason 3 years ago, what were you talking about? Most lodges you cannot talk about politics and leave all men. So you can say that or what you want, you know what I mean? Like, for instance, if you guys walked up to, knocked on a door, and inside you've got, who can I, let's think, Al Capone, yeah? And all his henchmen, yeah? You think they're going to talk about drugs, murder and mayhem in front of you? No, of course they ain't. They're going to come in, have a drink, have something to eat. How you doing? On you go. Do you know what I mean? Even Al Capone had soup kitchens for the poor and needy and had charity. Even Jimmy Savile did charity. What did he do? Do you see what I mean? So you and your fraternity that go, oh, we are charity and up front and all that, do you know what I mean? Oh, come and see us. No one in their right mind who's corrupt or a criminal is going to open their door and start doing and talking about criminal activity. So you're talking rubbish. You know what I mean? But when the door's shut and you've got all your little entered apprentices and sojourners and your little sentries and your bouncers on the door and your tiler, well, then you're talking about real corruption then, isn't it? You know what I mean? That is good info. Thank you very much, my profane friend. You raised him up in several degrees. Master Masons, you Master Masons, right, yeah, right, are cannon fodder for the, you are cannon fodder for the rich elite, yeah? If you ain't born into it, yeah, because the real Masons are born into it. They're lords, dukes and earls, kings, queens and all the rest of it, yeah? If you're not born into it, you are cannon fodder. And you're just above us, that's all. And you keep us on the low levels, you know, of the slaves trade, yeah? And they give you power to keep us enslaved in their fucking perfect little world, yeah? And you're all traitors, all of you Master Masons and all that, you're all traitors, yeah? But if you think you're safe from these people, right, when it comes down to the nitty gritty, you ain't, yeah? They're gonna do you in just as quick as they do us in. Right, look into the Mormons in Freemasonry, yes. Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses, they're all Freemasons. I'm not a brother, baby. I'm a profane brother. A Cowan, yeah, I am a Cowan. Are you a Freemason in here or not? No, I'm not. Yeah, this is silly. That is silly. It's silly for any Freemason to be here because you ain't getting nowhere. We know who you are. We see you now. He's a bitter person who we didn't want. Oh, he's a bitter person who we didn't want. Yeah, right. No, I don't think so. You don't know my story, but you keep an eye on me and you'll see my story. I'll show you who wants who. You know what I mean? All of them, yeah? All I know them, yeah? Drug dealers, mate. Do you know what I mean? That's all you are. He's a bit person who didn't want. You're a drug dealers, yeah? And I just didn't comply to lick up an old geezer's arse, yeah? That is what? Supposed to, he's got a made up title in an army, that he's a worshipful master, or he's a duke or a Tyler, or whatever the fuck it is. Do you know what I mean? That's me, because I've got a mind of my own. You know what I mean? Because I didn't go down that route and join up when they asked me, yeah, which was near the circus, by the way, yeah, and I refused to join. Do you know what I mean? They made me a perjured individual. Do you know what I mean? I know the Freemasons around here. I've lived here all my life. I know who's who. Who are you, Mister? I am the Mr. Macintosh. Right, anyone here interested in real history of Masons, go to your local lodge and knock. Yeah, and they're really honest, like Jimmy Savile. Knock on Jimmy Savile's door and ask about his life, and he'll be as honest as any Freemason, as honest as fucking Jimmy Savile. You bloody fool, mate. Just a man who cares. You're an idiot. Stuart, why are you against Freemasons? I'm against Freemasons because they interfere with people's lives, yeah, including mine. They're gang stalking, drug dealing, paedophile, raping, nonce cases, yeah. That's a fact. This is disinformation. No, this is not misinformation. This is true facts. Go to my football and look at it. It's all flat. You are corrupt, yeah, and each lodge is just an outfit or a syndicate of crime lords, and that's all it is. Blackballed. Oh, thank you very much. As a result, I hope I did get blackballed. Do you know why? Because it makes me no Freemason. Do you know what I mean? Because why do I be a bloody idiot in a lodge doing the same ritual over and over again like a twat, yeah? Right, what special powers you get? You get money and all the rest of it. But what's money? Money's nothing. Do you know what I mean? You're piss poor, you lot. You're all slaves, you know what I mean, within an army, and you have to do as you're told. Well, that little old man will be battering your little arse, wouldn't he, with a baton? I know you Freemasons. They do targeted programs, yeah, they do. They make everyone a vomit, a victim of Masonic ill treatment, or a targeted individual. You turned the flag upside down. Right, my brother, are good men. You cannot be a Mason if you're a criminal. So what about all the criminals around here? In fact, I ain't got the book here, or have I? Yeah, wait there. Yeah, look, I'll show you. I'll show you your criminals, right? Look. See, we would talk about Kenny Noy, right? But we can't talk about these criminals, yeah? Which are the Cray twins, and if you know about that in my videos, they ain't called Crime and the Craft in Masonic involvement for nothing. There's Kenny Noy in the bottom left, and there's the Cray twins in the top left. Do you know what I mean? And I can go on about 50 or 60 here that are in a syndicate, and they're all members of the lodge. Do you know what I mean? I could go on a bit more about that, but I won't at the particular time now. So you're just all criminals, mate. And if you ain't aware of them being criminals in your town or city, yeah, and you're a Freemason, then you're part of the problem. Right, I'm still reading here. Right, gang stalking me in UK, physically disabled. Yeah, they will. So now you admit the deal that then. Still inbox me, mate. I'd like to. Hello, what happened there? Ooh. Right, I'm still here. What have they done to you? Right, obviously you lot are still arguing. Now I'm going back to my video here, right? Now, because I've got to here, right, now I've been going a solid 2 hours. I'm wondering whether to stop it here, because look, I'm going to go into this, right, and then I'm going to go for a part 2, yeah? I'm going to go have a break, something to eat, and then I'm going to come back, okay? Now watch. You see all these people here, right, yeah? This is Great Yarmouth Marketplace, yeah? Okay, this is gone back in the day, right, yeah? Look at all the people on the market, right? Okay? Again, you can see the symbolism. I don't know if you can see it there. I'll go to another video. Now these look at the market stall here. Now this here is the bottom end I'm going to show you. Please note, right, that the stalls, right, are made of wood. Okay, just note that at the moment, right? Yeah, and then you've got all the businesses up on the left here, look, right, which is, and if you see, look, the Masonic symbolism, if you know my videos, yeah, then you'll know the symbolism I've shown you all about, on top of the shops and all the rest of it, okay? Yeah, this is the old tram lines, yeah? Right, that's the Marketplace Great Yarmouth, right? Now watch please note the people, yeah, that's important, right? Again, the Great Yarmouth Marketplace, notice the stalls are wooden, okay, yeah. Again, if you look, there's all Masonic symbolism all the way up there, okay. I don't know if you can see it very well on here, but I will get some of that in a bit, right? But look at all the people, that's the important thing, right? The people, right? Right, let's move along, that's the road that is there. This is Yarmouth Bridge, there's Great Yarmouth Town Hall there, look, yeah, again, more symbolism. Oh, baby. So you imagine how long that's been there. Look at that step there, look, or that step. See how it's been worn away, look, by people walking up and down there? And that goes back to when there was horses and carts. So you imagine that now. Again, the symbolism is there, right? But we won't get into that just yet because it's not about symbolism. Now, what I want you to notice, right? Because this is about. I'm now getting in. I'm now going to end this in a minute, and then I'm going to start it with the same videos, right? But I just want you to think about the people, right, that you're seeing here. Okay. Look at all the people in the marketplace. Okay. Look at it, right? Look at all them people, right? Right? Look at all them people all up the side of the streets. Look how well they're walking up and down there, right? Live post. The host will be back soon. Who would bloody... Oh, no way. Right, I'm going to have to stop there because my video went peak time and I don't want to leave you like with a load of things. So I'm going to end the video there and I'm coming back, alright? This is part 1. Have a great day, my profane friends. Part 2 coming soon. Just remember them bodies, alright? All these people. I'm going to start it off with this anyway, yeah? Look at all the people, alright? I'll start it off with that. Anyway, have a great day, my profane friends.